Going to begin tonight with breaking news and the final breakneck sprint to Election Day, just hours from now. President Trump and former Vice President Biden are still on the trail tonight, targeting those battleground states and last-minute votes they each believe they'll need to win. President Trump holding 5 rallies in 4 states, while Joe Biden is going all in for Pennsylvania, making 3 stops there, as well as a surprise visit to Ohio. And while Election Day isn't until tomorrow, as we come on the air, this election is already making history. More than 97 million Americans have already voted early. Now, that's record-shattering, and it's more than 2/3 of all the votes cast just 4 years ago. But it also means that with so many ballots to count and some of the biggest battleground states not starting that process until tomorrow night, we may not know who won on Wednesday morning. President Trump is threatening to go to court to challenge that idea, falsely claiming that ballots that haven't been counted tomorrow night shouldn't count at all. Now, across the U.S., tensions are running high, and buildings in many major cities are boarding up ahead of tomorrow night. There's a lot of new reporting to get to tonight. We've got our team of correspondents covering it all. CBS's Ed O'Keefe is going to lead off our coverage right here in our CBS News election headquarters. Good evening, Ed.
Good evening, Nora. There are battleground states, and then there's Pennsylvania, where Joe Biden has spent more time than anywhere else, knowing that if he can win the Keystone State, he can probably win the White House.
Joe Biden signaling he has one more day to go. And with that, he and his team spent the day focused on one of tomorrow's biggest prizes, Pennsylvania.
We got to make sure everyone returns their ballot to vote tomorrow.
Biden also acknowledged the president's reported threat to declare victory tomorrow night, regardless of how many outstanding votes there are.
When America's heard, I believe the message is going to be loud and clear. It's time for Donald Trump to pack his bags and go home.
The latest CBS News Battleground Tracker poll shows Biden up 7 points in Pennsylvania, but there's a feeling the race may be tightening in the remaining hours. To win, Biden must drive up turnout compared to 4 years ago in and around Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, win decisively in his native Northeast Pennsylvania, and cut into the president's advantages in rural Republican parts of the state. While Biden focused on Western Pennsylvania, even bringing Lady Gaga along to court younger voters, running mate Kamala Harris worked the eastern side and blasted the president for continuing to raise doubts about the integrity of Pennsylvania's election system.
He's doing it to distract from the fact that he actually has no record to run on.
This morning, voters in northeastern Pennsylvania who incorrectly completed mailed-in ballots stood in frigid lines to make corrections.
I love my state, but it's gotten ugly.
But I just found out it was rejected on Friday, so late Friday. Yeah. So that doesn't give a lot of time to people.
Biden also campaigned in Ohio today, where the race is tied. A sign the campaign thinks it's within reach. He slammed the president for suggesting he might fire Dr. Anthony Fauci after he said the U.S. was unprepared for a tough COVID winter.
Elect me and I'm going to hire Dr. Fauci. And we're going to fire Donald Trump.
Mr. Trump can only demote or sideline Dr. Fauci, who's a career public servant, but that didn't stop him from discussing it.
Don't tell anybody, but let me wait till a little bit after the election.
Former President Barack Obama was also back on the trail, hoping to help turn Georgia blue for the first time in over 2 decades.
You can be a state that sends Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to the White House.
In yet another sign of how focused they are on Pennsylvania, Biden's going back to the state tomorrow for Election Day visits to his hometown of Scranton and to Philadelphia. Running mate Kamala Harris plans to visit Detroit. Further sign that Pennsylvania and Michigan are the Biden team's top targets. Nora?
Looking forward to tomorrow night when we'll be able to get together with everyone to cover this race. Thank you, Ed.